Hi everyone and welcome to Sparkles, the channel where we prove that crafting is messy by doing none other than making a mess. It's Friday night and I am definitely feeling like I need to get some crafting done. First of all, this paper pumpkin kit has me really inspired at the moment. That's what I'm enjoying about these kits is when they come in, there's like this excitement and this, oh my god, my paper pumpkin's here. And that gets me every time. I'm one of those people. I love surprises in the mail. I am crazy for them, I will say. And so, and then there's this really cool thing to make it on season, on trend. And I just want to dive right in and do things with it because, oh my gosh, there's new supplies to work with. And half the creativity, the hard part of the creativity is done for me because it's all color coordinated. And so what I play with and some of the harder decisions like a theme and where to get started are already made for me. So I am just working on opening my stamp here, or my English. It's the language that I've forgotten how to speak. My ink, let's get that one right. And so yeah, so paper pumpkin comes in. Of course, my brain's just going, oh, what are we gonna do? So, having made it this far, now I'm trying to remember where I put my stamping block. It is right in front of my face. Wow, guys, you can tell my brain is like functioning on autopilot. Let me tell you. So it has been over 24 hours, honestly, like I haven't had enough sleep. I haven't had enough caffeine. I haven't done enough self-care. My emotions have been all over the place. So yeah. So what I have on here is just the smaller leaf. So I'm going to start off. I've poked out all my shapes. And I'll describe what I'm working on. I actually kind of want to make this one a series, and I might do some good editing on it. So this might not come out immediately. We will see how long it takes me to get this done. Or where we're going. So we're just going to ink it up. And using some scratch. Give it a little what for. And now we're going to start going to town. So, like I said, crazy 24 hours. Yesterday, middle of the afternoon, I'm, hanging out doing working things at work. And my daycare provider calls. My kid's not well. Can I come pick her up? She's got a fever. Okay, I can do that. She's had a bit of a runny nose this week. That's cool. We can handle this. So I make arrangements with work to leave. Luckily, they're really good with me, and I work on going ahead and picking her up. Pick her up. She's definitely got a fever. She's definitely feeling pretty punky. So take her home, dose her with Advil, give her some juice, give her some toast, and oh, that's cute. I like how it turns out. And notice her fever's still climbing. Okay, I can handle this. We're going with another medication. So she had Advil, gave her some Tylenol. I know Tylenol is the better choice. I should have started there, but she hates the Tylenol and usually responds well to Advil. So give her that. Nope, her fever continued to climb. well, over the course of the evening, she grew sicker. And then she became distressed and was in pain. And, the kind of distress that you look at a 3-year-old and you go, no, my mom alarm bells started going off. Now, when I had to pick her up at daycare, my anxiety alarm bells were going off. But you tell yourself that that's just because it's your kid, and every time they're sick, you want to just make it better and make it go away, and, you can't. And that's frustrating, and, you want to... My anxiety doesn't come from a place of worrying about the future. It comes from a place of wanting to control it. And anything that's out of my control tends to trigger my anxiety. Is what it is. Now I'm noticing this and wondering if there's some specificness that I should be using with these. No, they're even on both sides. Okay, I thought for a second, see, this is what happens. I get into my story and then I get into my crafting and they interfere with one another. Sorry, I thought these leaves for a second might have been not mirror image side to side, but they are, so now I'm less worried. So I am there and I am, just worried about her, and eventually she's getting sick enough that my alarm bells are really just not cool with staying home and waiting for a doctor's appointment in the morning anymore. Now, I live in Canada and I am incredibly blessed to have access to free health care. And what that means is that when times like this come up and, you do it on your own. So funds are tight. Funds don't get easier right now. Although I do have a plan for that. You do everything you have to do it. And I don't have to make the decision about whether or not I'm going to access health care, because I'm lucky enough that that's free available to me. So for anyone who is doing it on their own or living in a country without that kind of access, I feel for you. I could not imagine how heartbreaking those decisions are. And especially on kids get sick in the evening. When kids really start to look sick, it's around dinner time. And by that point, you don't have a lot of options for seeking standard care like your doctor. So those decisions, I cannot imagine how heartbreaking they are to make. And I most definitely feel the privilege and how lucky I am to not have to make those decisions. I'm grateful for my government for that. So I made the decision to take her into the emergency room. Because of where I live, that was essentially the only option available to us. I couldn't access a virtual doctor that night, and up in my area right now, because of the ongoing world events, the doctors at the walk-in are virtual and not taking patients directly, which meant that we were out of luck for seeing a doctor that evening unless we went to Emerge. So I took her in, and sure enough, she's got a good infection and needed some medication to be started sooner rather than later, and some help with some fluids and whatnot. So she's feeling worlds better today. The antibiotics are starting to work. by this afternoon, she was bouncing around and wanting to go outside and play. So she's absolutely feeling much better now. But it involved a very, very, very late night. And then we got home, and of course you put them to bed, but the fever medication is only good for 4 hours, and the way the dosing schedule worked out, her fever came back 2 hours after I put her back to bed, so we were right back up, so we didn't get a lot of sleep. And then I was, getting meds and calling her regular doctor and, all of the usual. So it's been a roller coaster. And I was so proud of her. She handled it like a champ. No child should be sick or in pain, and it breaks your heart to see it, although we all recognize that a part of growing up is getting the occasional infection or getting sick with the sniffles or whatever. But I don't know, she handles things. You ask her to be brave, and I explain to her why we're doing things. Like, if she has to have a test, then we explain why and what's gonna happen and if it's gonna hurt or not or for how long, so she knows we're coming and she's ready for it. And words cannot express how much that kid amazes me. So the good news is, like I said, I'm really happy she's feeling better. I am processing the emotional whirlwind of being scared and proud of her and just having my kid amaze me, because they do. Kids absolutely blow you out of the water. So that's been my day. Tell me about yours. How has it been going? What's Friday done for you? Has it been a good one? A bad one? I'd love to hear. Leave me a comment and I will always respond. And I wanted to put this offer out for you. I love mail. I love happy surprises. So if anybody would like to receive a card in the mail from me worldwide, let me know. Leave me a message. I will get in contact with you and get your address, and I will send you a card, just because. The world is full of enough just kind of sad moments right now that I would like to be a part of a happy one. And if a card in the mail would make you smile, I would love to send you one. So let me know. So I got out my other leaves and we're just going to continue stamping them up. I know this isn't like super exciting on the creativity front, but I have this plan. So my girl's birthday's coming up and she wants it themed after a certain female Disney mouse character. You know who I mean. She's got a very nice bow. And not a problem, that's her favorite character. So I saw these and I was thinking, what if this was Minnie's pumpkin patch? And so I was thinking of doing one of those really cute tables with the snacks and everything, and doing all those themed snacks. So I wanted to put some treats inside these, and some are going to be pumpkins and apples and whatever I feel like making. That's going to be part of the journey. And then I was going to use a cardboard box, and I have this idea to make the actual pumpkin patch. So I want to use, because it comes with this bonus project to make that little the barrow, the wagon the thing that holds pumpkins. And so what I wanted to do, oh, that's not ideal. I don't like it when that happens. Let's turn that one. We cannot. Okay, that is going to be a last chance leaf. So what I was going to do is set up, I wanted to paint a cardboard box and cut off the sides on a couple sides, but I want to use part of the sides to do some fencing. And so do that. And then I was going to, instead of just crumpling the tissue paper and making it just inside the barrow to hold up more pumpkins, I wanted to cut it up to look like straw into shorter pieces. And so I was going to put some in the barrow and some on the bottom to represent the ground. And then I was going to put the pumpkin-filled treats in it around, kind of like a certain character who I plan on creating to stand in the box is going to harvest them from her pretty pumpkin patch. So I wanted to create a bit of a video series working on this project. I enjoy sharing the process, and so I thought, why not start filming and you can come along with me. So I know that I want to use up all of these leaves. The ones that aren't used on the actual treats, because there are a lot of these nice leaves, I want to use scattered around the ground, like parts of plants that might have come off in the picking, or like just to give it the look of a garden. I want to use, I plan on cutting up some of those strips with the wire in it to make some of the plants on the ground. So I want to glue a couple of the leaves to that, so it doesn't just look like there are little curly spiny things on the pumpkin, but so that it looks like the pumpkin grew out of the ground itself. So I've got some ideas, maybe use some yarn in there. I'm thinking a spray of glue and possibly some coffee powder would make some great, or coffee grounds would make a great dirt base. So we'll see where we go. But I got some good ideas of where I want to go. So I want to start setting that up. And part of that just means getting everything made. So there are going to be parts of this where I don't take you, like, you're not going to sit here for a couple of hours with me and do this. I am going to break this up into a few videos. And some of it I'm going to do off camera so that you are not stuck watching a lot of boring and listening to me talk. So that is where we're headed. Now, the other thing that's hanging out on my brain is I'm looking around and, honey, a woman has got to do it herself in this world. I don't like the wage I make. I'm probably not going to be happy with the wage that anybody pays me for the education I have. Not because I don't have an education, because I do, but because jobs right now in the labor market just is not in a lot of people's favor working on an hourly wage. I would, 20 years from now, when I am approaching 55, well, over 55, well, let's not lie about that, but let's say somewhere in that generation, like to be thinking about not working on somebody else's terms and having enough of a business to be able to do it for myself the way I would want. But I know that it's going to take me a long time to get established and get to where I want to be. I'd like to have a social media component in terms of doing definitely videos, because I'm enjoying this process and I'd like to get a lot better at video editing. I am looking to, really kind of develop myself as a brand. And it's going to take some time and some finesse. However, part of developing yourself as a brand means having a product. And I've got a bunch of ideas for that. But one of the things that is hanging out in my brain is I have previously done the type of consultant work where you join a company and build your own business selling products out of a catalog. And I've done not bad at it. But for the amount of time I was in, for the fact that I was 20, I showed some decent skills, and I'm not bragging. I know this for a fact because my business was in a profit. And I know in these companies what it means to be making a profit when you're maintaining your status. So, I am looking for a mentor and a product line. I like crafting stuff, and I'm looking for a brand to join. So I am asking people to pitch me to join their downline. I am looking for a team that is interactive and fun and loves the product that they're selling, that doesn't mind someone in their mid-30s just trying to figure it all out. And I am looking to commit. I'm looking to commit to the next 20, 30-ish years of my life to this project, which is a big thing, and I know that. But I want to establish myself at the craft fair on the weekend, and or doing classes, or using creativity as a way to really get to where I want to be. Now, I'm not going to stamp the sentiments yet because I'm not sure where I want to go with that. So, being and knowing that, I'm curious, what is out there? I am in Canada. I am located in Northern Ontario. I don't necessarily need or want to join a local team if it doesn't recognize and respect that there's going to be virtual sales, and I'd like to build an online platform. So I'm just pre-folding this. I'm looking for the right connection, the right mentor, somebody who doesn't mind or already has set up a system of support for their downline, does training, does, introduction to the product or selling points, or, starts off with some of that. Doesn't mind being a business mentor as well as a upline leader. And if you are that person and your product, what you sell, the company you sell for, fits with the kind of stuff that I make, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to have a serious conversation about what it would take to make it work. I'm committing. Well, I think that this is the answer to, it's always been where and what I want to do and be. And I'd rather be in charge of my own business because I like being in control, and I am a type A personality, even if I am like the disaster kind of type A. And I am working on that. I'm always working on myself. So yeah, I would love to hear that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just using a little pick, and I am picking off some of these. I've decided to start one of these, obviously, because I couldn't wait. And this one here, the first one that I'm doing, I am thinking apple. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. And so I'm not putting it down right here on this very end because I want it to stick more towards this edge. And that's just because of the way I intend on holding stuff. I'd love to see what size these come up to so I can decide what I am putting in them. I haven't made that decision as of yet, but I'm definitely going to be. Once I can see, I need to see how big they are, right? Like, do you ever feel like that? Like, you just can't do it until you know. So, now we're going to use this pick. Attempt to take this apart. Fail miserably because it's tired and my eyes are blurry and my pick is acting up on me. Are you not doing what I want? Okay, there, one. So we're going to pick these off. There we go. Now we got it back. See, all I had to do was kick my brain in gear. So yeah. So come with me on this adventure. This is a place for learning and growing, and a place where we are going to be working on all kinds of stuff, but where creativity is always what gives us motivation, and where life is very real. Nothing is perfect. I am never ever going to be somebody's what to do model. I would not look at me for that. But if you want an idea of where to go and what not to do, I'm probably going to be able to provide you with a couple of those. So now I am just very carefully attaching these. And the reason I am doing it this way instead of curling it first, you know what I forgot I wanted to do? Was put the face on. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about that. Self, how about you put your brain in gear? My brain's gone. It's Friday night. Nobody's brain is quite in 100% gear. And if you are, I totally respect you for it. But, dude, we all got that time. We all have times where our brains are just not the reliable piece we want to be. Now, as you will notice, instructions, I don't know what those are. Okay, reaching across here. So, give it a little bit of a curl. Try not to rip that top piece. That would be nice. So the first place I am going here is apple. Now, how big are these? I have a question. This is a fruit cup. Standard packaged fruit cup. They are cupcake sized. Worth noting. So I'm going to get some packaged candies to fill these. These are definitely cupcake sized. So, curl that in. Now, I have noticed that the trick to this is just to keep going. And actually what you're trying to do is make a circle on the top. And if we make a circle on the top, we should get there. Now, the other trick is to get all 3 pieces so that they're hooking through one another. So one hooks around there, brings that out, this one comes in. I watched the teaser videos, as you can tell. If I bring this one here and hook it in like that towards making the circle, we have not done it right. Which piece is not right? Whew. Yeah, watch me brag about how it is that I've noticed that the trick is to make a circle and then literally not even be able to do that. Oh, there it is. So that piece goes, this piece goes under. Haha, magic. Life makes sense. We're making a piece. Okay, this piece goes under and this piece comes on top. So when you're folding it, this side is always going under and this side is always going on top. And over here we have, I almost want to say strawberry. That could be a strawberry, but I think I'm going to stick with my original plan of apple. So my original plan was apple. I'm going to grab 2 of these. We're going to go into those glue dots, and I'm going to use the old glue dots from the last package just because I don't like starting new packages when there are still good ones on the old thing. It's a personal preference. I'm crazy. We just accept that as normal. The sooner you accept that, the sooner it is that we will all recognize that the crazy just doesn't go away. That's just how I'm made. So now let's look at where we want to tuck that. I am thinking one right there. Nice and 3D. Yep. And the second one, to come here. And on the apple, I am going to bypass the issue of the twine and wire entirely. I am not going to use that. I am, however, going to put a face because I think that would be nice. So, 2 little pieces for a nice little apple. And we have the apple. And we're going to just kind of bend those up a little. Then a little curl and a little zhuzh. Turn this over. I'm thinking this side. And let's go for a face. First one, triangle. Let's not actually start with that. Let's start off with a smile. We're going to start off with a pumpkin smile because we can. Yeah, stick that on. No, I don't know. Is that right? Now I doubt myself. This is why I shouldn't do this in 3D, actually. Next one, we're going to put the face on when it's flat, because then I will spend less time doubting myself that it is centered. Because I will be able to see if it is or not. Okay. What I'm going to do is get my fingers out of this procedure. It's maybe, if we're not doing that, will make a better decision. Haha. I am smart. No, I am just willing to try different things. That's all you have to do, really, is just keep playing with it. Right? It's paper and it's a sticker. This is not precious, life-altering ingredients. You can have fun and make mistakes, and no one is going to be the wiser. Nobody knows what you're working on. Nobody knows that it wasn't what you originally intended. And that's okay. So now there is going to be issues of scale in this garden because the pumpkins and the apples are going to be quite similar in size. I'm okay with that because it's a mystical, magical garden that we are creating, and it's for Kate's birthday party, and it's just going to be cute. And cute is good enough for me. So, with that, I present to you with Happy Halloween Apple. I think it's cute. I know it's not super different from the real project, but I love it. Okay, thank you for joining and have a wonderful evening.